Oh, hello. I don't know what's going on. My hair is like whacked out of its head today, guys. But so they issued released a video of this person of interest in the. Let me make sure you can hear me. Oh, yep. The dentist and his wife in Ohio that were killed, and their 1-year-old and 4-year-old were in another room. They released the person of interest, and it's the most ridiculous thing that you've ever seen. So, and let me make sure that something is wacko over here too. Okay. Let me make sure that, let me refresh this. Oh, you know what? Did I never even finished putting out the notifications. Good job, Carolyn. Hold on, let me put out the notifications. That was really silly of me. Very silly, no wonder. Let me just post on the Facebook pages, post in the community post, and post in Slack because I didn't do that. I only did Twitter. And then I ran upstairs. And Luke was talking to me. Okay, let's see here. That's that. Now what do I have to do? I have to put it in Slack. Which Slack? Where the heck is Slack? Mommy Ramblings. Launch. I didn't even, oh my gosh, I haven't even launched Slack. That's good. Crazy. Got that. Now, next. Hi, Rosalita. Hi, Sandra. I'm almost done. I just have to do one more share out here. Really, I'm still on holiday mode. I don't know what I am. Kids went back to school today, but I am still on holiday mode.
This is probably not how you
I don't know what I'm
imagine a grandma in a swimsuit, but...
Okay, lady, come on, grandma in a swimsuit out in the freezing cold. Come on. I don't imagine any grandma out in a swimsuit and in freezing cold like that, okay? All right. Let me see here. Where do I share this? Share this. Okay, now I've got the shares out. So anyway, let me pull this over because you'll see there's this thing that somebody sends these memes to Jimmy, and they have like just like a sketch like a child would make it, and they have the newscasters laughing at it. Well, I mean, this is almost as bad as that Boston, excuse me, not Boston. Yes, Brown University shooting. That's the person of interest. That literally could be a kid in a Carhartt jacket and jeans. By kid, I mean a teenager. It could be so many different people that you cannot even see the skin color. You cannot tell the age of the person. Now, the only thing that this would be useful to is if they were attacked by somebody that knew them, and family members can identify this person, because a outsider identifying this person, they'll be calling in. Everybody will be hauled into the police station. Okay. Because that looks like so many people Doesn't look suspicious at all. It looks about, if you went into a Walmart parking lot around here, you'd find 90 people that look like that walking from their car to the store. So just ridiculous that they're like the video release. So like I said, the only people that are going to get anything out of that is going to be their family members. If it's a person that they knew that did this, that they might be able to identify, because that alone is ridiculous. So let's see. Authorities investigating the shooting deaths of Adendas and his wife in Ohio released the security video on Monday. What the heck is my drink? Of the person of interest in the case. They said the video was recorded between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. in an alley next to the Columbus home of Dr. Spencer TP 37 and Monique TP 39. In a statement, the police department said investigators believe the couple were killed on their top floor of their home during the 3-hour window. The brief video shows a person walking in the alley wearing light-colored pants and they look like jeans and a hooded dark jacket. Looks like kind of like a Carhartt jacket. Come on. The department asked the public for information about the identity of the person and said detectives are following up on numerous tips. Authorities discovered the couple's body after several 911 calls from colleagues and loved ones on the morning of December 30th. Among the callers was a friend who reported having found Spencer's body next to his bed. The couple appeared to have been shot. Franklin County Coroner's Office said the pair died in an apparent homicide by gunshot wounds, adding that the case is not finalized and that additional reports are pending. 9mm shell casings were found in the family's home. A preliminary investigative report shows that the couple's 2 young children, 1 and 4, were in another room and they were unharmed physically. Authorities have not identified a possible motive. The police department previously said it does not believe the killings were murder-suicide. And that is, again, only going to be of interest to anyone that knew them, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay? I just don't see how that is going to be any help to anyone else. Okay. Now, let's go over to the next story, okay? Which is going to be Maduro in federal court. Okay, here we go. So, deposed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife pled not guilty today in their first New York court appearance after being captured in a surprise attack. Maduro faces a narco-terrorism conspiracy charge. He and his wife were both charged with cocaine importation, conspiracy, and weapons offenses. Maduro, who calls himself the president of Venezuela, said he was kidnapped and captured from his home in Caracas. I am a prisoner of war, he added in Spanish. Flores, his wife, also described herself as the First Lady of Venezuela in court. Let's see. I'm trying to see what else we have here. So I think that's about Attorney General Pam Bondi said that everything is on the table as far as Maduro and Flores are concerned, widening the threat to include the other co-defendants in the Justice department's indictment. Everything else is still on the table, not only with them, but with the other co-defendants who are charged, she said. Let's see what else we have here. Venezuela will not have new elections in the next 30 days. President says we have to fix the country first. You can't have an election. There's no way the people could even vote. It's going to take a period of time. We have to nurse the country back to health. What else do we have here? So, yeah, that was it. They appeared in court, claim they're still president and first lady of their country of Venezuela, and that they are not guilty. Okay. Next is this Mickey Rourke. I just want to let you know that his GoFundMe is up to, I think it was almost $94,000. I don't understand how it's going to help him, though, because I believe he was like $70,000 back rent, and the rent is $7,000 a month, and it doesn't mention him having a job. So you tell me how this is going to help this guy out. Because he's not planning on moving out of that place. So, kind of weird, huh? Doesn't say he has any projects, or anything like that. He's just supposed to, get back on his feet with this. Well, that's not even 3 months of rent if he got the $100,000. I don't know. The whole thing seems kind of really crazy. Okay. So let's talk about this Wyoming murder-suicide, and the girlfriend predicted her ex-boyfriend was capable of this. A month before the murder-suicide, a Wyoming woman predicted that her ex-boyfriend would kill her. Okay. Let's put her picture. We'll put a bigger picture up there. Okay, there we go. So, hang on one second. That's Macy Dawn Bradshaw, 20 years old, and her family has opened up about her tragic death on December 16th in this murder-suicide in the town of Lyman, hoping it will help other families avoid the heartache that they have experienced. Macy's father, Justin Bradshaw, described getting a call from her on his way to work, learning from her that her ex was outside her apartment, and then, hold on, let me get the father's words here. Where's my glasses? 1 second, please. Her father, Justin, was headed for his job site, December 16th, small town of Lyman, Wyoming. He got a call, the last call he'd ever take from his daughter, 20-year-old Macy Dawn Bradshaw. He said her voice was panicked. Her ex-boyfriend was standing outside her apartment. She was fearing the worst. She called at 11 o'clock, said, "Dad, he's outside, and I need you to scare him away." He pulled a U-turn, punched the gas, He was there in less than 4 minutes, but it wasn't soon enough. The moment he reached for the handle to enter the apartment, the gunshot sounded. He reached down to open the door, heard 2 gunshots go off back to back. He actually heard his body fall to the floor. He charged in the apartment, and he found his daughter and her ex-boyfriend on the floor on different sides of the room. Each had bullet wounds in the head, and both were still alive. He rushed his daughter to his daughter, they were not lying on the floor. She was lying on the bed. She was still alert, still awake. She asked me to help her. She said, "Dad, I'm going to be sick. I'm going to throw up. I need to get on the floor." He reached for the phone to dial 911 4 minutes after she called him for help. And that's the end of what he said was a long and troubled relationship. And it raises questions on the efficacy of social and institutional guardrails in the face of widespread intimate partner violence cases. Let's see. So they're telling this story, and gosh, we know how many, okay, how this hits home for so many, okay, including, what happened in Long Island that affected my son. This is something that is happening far too often. So they're trying to somehow put something out there in the hope that their story may save others. And so the first insight is as clear as it is forbidding. When it comes to jilted love and poor mental health, even proactively cautious families can be caught off guard. And he said, about a month ago, Macy said to me, "I wouldn't be surprised if James killed me and then killed himself." Said, and that was Taylor Bradshaw, that was Macy's closest sister. "I never thought it would actually happen." It all began with, let's see here. These two were brought together in elementary school during carpool to Uri Elementary School. And with Macy being outgoing and congenial, they got, let me see here. Took an interest in Hunter's subtle humor and quirky sensibility. He had this sense of humor where he'd tell a joke straight-faced. You weren't even sure if you should laugh or not, said Taylor Bradshaw, Macy's closest sibling, who'd known Hunter most of her life. Hunter was introverted but observant. He cherished her attention and was eager to return it in full. They bonded over a love of art, passing pencil sketches and handwritten notes. And when they began dating in high school, he spoiled her with affection. He bought her flowers. He planned special dates. He was always doing random acts of kindness. She said, I actually have a text saved between me and Macy that said, someone must be paying James because no guy ever treats anyone this nice. But teenage love morphed into an unhealthy codependence. Hunter graduated from high school 2 years ahead of Macy, and in the middle of her junior year, she left home to live with him and his parents. Then she started skipping school, dropping out entirely, and that's where it started going downhill. They spent all their time at home together. He wasn't going out with friends anymore. Both of their mental health got really bad. Okay. Hang on 2 seconds on this one. Now, let me just see something. This guy over here. Is he James Hunter? Is that his name here? It must be. But now, yeah, they hooked up, they got, not hooked up, I don't mean, they They started liking each other on carpool, right, when they were elementary kids. But they started dating in high school. He's buying her flowers, he's doing all this. But then he graduates 2 years ahead of her. In the middle of her junior year, she left home to live with him and his parents. Why? Now, that could be that you could kind of maybe think that maybe her parents were saying, wait a minute, you're far too serious as a junior. And she was saying, yeah, well, I'm just going to go live with him then if you can't support this. Who knows? With that would be a red flag right there. And then she started skipping school and dropping out entirely. Another issue, right? Still being under 18 years old. That's when it started going downhill. They spent all their time at home together. He wasn't going out with friends anymore. So then you've got his parents have to be enabling them, because if he's not going out with friends anymore, he's obviously not working. It doesn't say he's going to college or anything. So what were his parents' role in this, right? Both of their mental health got really bad. They turned towards drinking. And it was something they did a lot together. Okay, so again, they're living with his parents, drinking. She's underage to be drinking anyway. He is probably, I don't know if it's what the age there, if it's 21 like New York or whatever, but what are his parents doing in all this? Confided in her sister that the relationship was making Macy, unhappy. Yet she felt trapped on a crucifix of her own compassion as Hunter resorted to dark manipulations. Each time she broached the topic of separation, he threatened self-harm. She knew she needed to leave him for a long time, but she kept telling me, I care for him so much I don't want him to do anything to himself. Days after Macy's 18th birthday, they had a decisive argument in which Hunter admitted his threats of self-harm were insincere. That was all she needed to hear. A contingency plan was in place to move near her mother, so I guess her parents are divorced, in southern Utah, where her parents first met in college. After that, I'm not even kidding you, the very next day we moved her. We loaded up our cars and I took her down to St. George, but the relationship with James did not end there. Okay, but that would have been she would have been 18, so there's 2 years between that and when she was killed. The separation was a needed reprieve, but Macy continued to struggle mentally, never found the social support she needed in southern Utah. She was nervous about what could have happened with Hunter. After 2 years away, she decided that returning home was her best chance at a happy life. So she went back after 2 years away. So what happened in those 2 years? He wasn't, I guess, he was coping 2 years without her there. She was right. The decision proved deadly wrong. In June of 2025, she returned to Lyman. She took a job as a waitress and got into her own apartment. She was proud, happy, and looking forward to her future, according to her father. He said Macy was so proud to have her own place. She decorated it, all cute. She had a job. She had a car. She felt like she finally gained independence in her world. And then, oh boy, She rekindled her relationship with Hunter, thinking they might now be capable of a healthy relationship. It was a fatal misjudgment. By that time, his mental health had taken a turn for the worse. I could tell how bad he was struggling because he wouldn't see or talk to any of us. His physical appearance had also changed. If they came to my house, Macy would come inside. He'd sit out in the car. If they were on the phone and James knew she was around someone else, he wouldn't talk at all. It was a big change from how he used to be. He was from tall, lean, and clean-cut to unkempt and unhealthy thin. It pretty much looked like skin and bone to me. Well, that usually is signaling something's going on, right? Once again, Macy found herself tangled up by Hunter's threats of self-harm and other forms of aggression. A close friend and one of the few to witness his manic tactics, Shani Martin said, Hunter forced Macy to sign soul contracts and scared her with threatening art. He gave her a blood painting. Wow. A demonic drawing, and he cut himself and used his blood to finish it. Macy viewed those as symbolic threats. He also monitored her phone. In September, they had a date to spend the night in nearby city of Evanston. Shortly after that, her friend received a scary text from Macy. She sent a message that says, he has a gun. This isn't normal. I don't feel safe. I have to tell somebody. She told me not to tell a single person. But Martin alerted a police officer and then drove to Evanston and waited in the parking lot of Macy's hotel. But what happened? What happened? She didn't say what happened. Okay. Hunter's intimidation reached new extremes after Macy began dating another man in October. His car was often seen prowling her new boyfriend's neighborhood, where she would stay on sometimes. Investigators would later discover binoculars and other suspicious implements in Hunter's car. Okay, so she had a therapist and friends prompting her to block Hunter's phone, but she believed that would put her at greater risk. At one point, she told me she didn't want to block him because I need to know if he's coming to my house to kill me. Okay. This is a very extreme case, right? Like in a lot of the other cases, it doesn't get to this point, well, not with the boyfriend-girlfriend, but at this point, you're pretty much assured that this is not a good situation, and if something major isn't done, it's not going to end well, right? Her sister concedes that while she worried he may be dangerous, she still couldn't believe that James Hunter, the quirky, introverted boy from elementary carpool, and the doting high school boyfriend would ever be capable of murder. One night in October, he laid hands on her, which simultaneously terrified Macy, as well as gave her the resolve. The following day, she asked her friend for help, crafting a message meant to end all communication with him indefinitely. Less than 5 minutes after they sent the text, Hunter was at her door. I slammed the door shut and I locked it, said her friend. He banged on the door. Macy was hiding in the corner, and they had her sister on FaceTime. He banged on the door again, and the friend said, Macy said, she's done. You have to respect that. Why didn't they call the police? Hunter stood for a few minutes silently outside. Then he knocked again, saying he came to pick up a hoodie. Martin prepared to hand over the item through the door. We were terrified. She worked up the courage to pass the hoodie through a crack in the door, and once he left, the girls rushed to her sister's apartment to spend the night. Wow. So, shortly before 11 a.m. on December 17th, Hunter parked around the corner from Macy's apartment. Her sister believes he entered by popping out a window frame in the front door, reaching through to unbolt the lock. Had Macy not called her father right then, her final hours may have been much worse. First responders found duct tape and zip ties on Hunter's person. I think James had malicious intent beyond just taking her life, said her father, but the timing was so quick. I was there within minutes of when he broke in the house. He didn't have time to do anything else. Okay. The family has established a nonprofit organization called A New Dawn, which is fundraising and organizing mental health resource for young women and others. Macy Dawn Bradshaw's celebration of life ceremony is scheduled for 11 a.m. Saturday. That's probably, I don't know, when did they write this? Saturday in Lyman. Let me see. Well, yeah, January 3rd. So, yeah, it is scheduled for this Saturday. So, they're trying to help other women that, or I guess anyone, men, women who feel they are in a bad relationship to get out of it before something like this happens. And to not, maybe like what her sister said, oh, yeah, he's quirky, he's introverted, he's this and he's that, but is he really capable of, murder someone? And a lot of people don't think that the other person is going to do that, or they're that dangerous. Or in this guy's case, he was threatening he was going to harm himself. I don't hear him once say that he was going to kill her, right? But he did. Hi, Nora, member for 67 months, Deputy Rambler. Thank you so much. I saw that as of the first of this year, Tennessee has a repeat domestic violence registry, the first state. Repeat, okay, very good. Let's see, Sandra, Rosalita, Sassy Darcy, hello. I see you, you see me, Jen Grill, Megan Els, Nora Woods. Welcome, welcome. Super Chat Cat. Hi there. So yeah, a sad story. Hopefully the organization and her story being shared will help someone, at least someone, hopefully more than just someone, to recognize signs, right? Let's see what else is going on in this world here. Okay. Let's see. There was a 6.2 magnitude earthquake detected in Japan. No tsunami warning issued. Isn't that when that January is when that huge tsunami that they made that movie? What was it? Impossible, which is a great movie if you haven't seen it. I thought that was January. Let's see. Oh, here's the winter conditions that I think Linda Uribe was talking about in California. Let me just see here. Multiple earthquakes, including one 6.2 magnitude, struck western Japan late Tuesday morning local time. The initial quake hit at 10:18 a.m. JST, magnitude 6.2 at a depth of about 6 miles, registering upper 5 on the Japan's seismic intensity scale. A second tremor followed shortly after, magnitude 5.1, registering lower 5. Long swaying motion was widely reported, with additional aftershocks continuing through late morning. Okay, so far no injuries have been reported. 2 regional electric power companies said no abnormalities have been detected. Bullet train services were temporarily disrupted, and cameras mounted on buildings showed visible shaking. Okay, then let's see. What else we have? The strongest shaking was recorded in parts of Matsu and Yasugi, and nearby towns of Tottori. Weaker but widely felt shaking extended into parts of western Japan, including Okayama, Hiroshima, Kagawa, and let's see what else we have. DHS won't accept a real ID in lieu of a passport. Well, of course, if you're traveling, they'll accept the passport from U.S. residents if you're traveling in the United States and you don't have a real ID. But if you're traveling outside, you have to have a passport. Where was anybody ever confused on that? That's insane. Whoever said that? That's okay. With over 45 million travelers screened by TSA this holiday season, many have learned firsthand what a real ID is and isn't. Well, I think everybody pretty much knew that, didn't they? Real ID establishes security standards for license issuance and production, and prohibits federal agencies from accepting certain official purposes, non-compliant driver's license and identification cards. Secure driver's licenses and identification documents are a vital component of our national security framework as they prevent fraud, terrorism, and create more effective security standards. Older ID cards and driver's licenses without a real ID compliant marking identified by a gold or black star or bear in states like California and the top portion of the card are no longer accepted by federal agencies. However, certain alternative forms of identification, such as a passport or DHS trusted traveler card, are also Real ID compliant. Real ID compliant cards have been required for less than a year. Many people find it confusing to understand how these cards differ from accepted alternatives. Remember, these cards cannot be used interchangeably. Can I fly without a real ID and use my passport instead? Yes. A valid U.S. or foreign government issued passport is an acceptable form of identification to board your flight. Here are some other alternative types of ID valid at airports. State-issued enhanced driver's license or enhanced ID. That's funny. I have an enhanced driver's license. So all of this crap last year when we were in Edisto is a non-freaking issue because we have the enhanced driver's license. But they never mentioned that and sent people into a freaking tailspin. How stupid. So that's something. The state-issued enhanced driver's license or enhanced ID. So I hope you're listening to me, Binky. If you have the enhanced driver's license, which I think you do, I do, it's okay. The U.S. passport card, the Department of Homeland Security trusted travelers cards like Global Entry, a permanent resident card, a border crossing card, a photo ID issued by a federally recognized tribal nation, Indian tribe, a U.S. Department of Defense ID, including those issued to dependents, veteran health identification card, a U.S. merchant mariner credential card, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Employment Authorization Card, Transportation Worker Identification Credential, an HSPD 12 PIV card, and a Canadian Provincial Driver's License or Indian and Northern Affairs Canada card. If you arrive at the airport without any of those forms of identification, you may be subject to additional screening to board the flight. They're not even saying you're not going to get on. They're saying you're going to be subjected to additional screening and pay a $45 fee. But the enhanced driver's license is freaking okay. Oh boy. They never said that last May. Never. This is the first that I'm reading that. Crazy. But of course, you have to have a passport if you're going, from the United States to Europe to wherever, out of the country, you're going to have a passport. Of course, you can't use a real ID. How crazy for anybody to even think that. But again, now I've got to hope Binky hears that the enhanced ID is good enough to fly, which I don't see why it's not, because it does have these safety things on it. I'm just going to put that in. Yes. A state-issued enhanced driver's license is fully acceptable for boarding domestic flights in the United States. It's a real ID compliant document and serves as a border crossing ID. It's marked with a flag. It's a great alternative to a standard real ID marked with a star or a U.S. passport for flying within the country, effective May 7th, 2025 for travelers 18 years and older. Oh my gosh. What a barrel of monkeys. Isn't that crazy? And even if you go on the New York State site, and it says, if your New York State license or ID does not have a star or a flag on it, then you do not have a real ID compliant document. Mine has a freaking flag. Oh my gosh. Scooter, I hope you're listening to this. If you have the enhanced driver's license, which I'm sure you probably do, you're all good, girl. So crazy. Let me see if they're in there listening to this. Scooter, are you listening to me? Hi, Margaret. Yeah, you asked me that last night, Super Chat. Yeah, it's terrible, the Swiss nightclub bar tragedy. Terrible. I just, no, going to Canada, you're gonna need a passport. Yeah, you're gonna need a passport. Going out of the country, you're still gonna need a passport. But this would have saved so much freaking grief because Binky would have stayed. I mean, why wouldn't they have said that last year? Just craziness. Let me see. I'm going to look up something else. Oh, my kids all landed safe in the Caribbean. Yeah, 116 people are injured in that deadly New Year's Eve bar fire. Teenagers as young as 14 and 15 were among victims at the Swiss bar fire. How is that? If it was, what's the drinking age there? All the victims, including numerous teenagers, have been positively identified. Police finished identifying 40 people who died at Le Constellation Bar in the Swiss Alps on Thursday night. Police say they worked with the Institute of Forensic Medicine and the country's disaster victim identification protocol to return the victims to their loved ones. Officials offered the nationalities and ages of the victims who were identified Sunday, but only some of them were also referred to by their sexes. Police provided no names. A 15-year-old who held citizenship from France, Israel, and the United Kingdom was among those who died. Police identified 6 French citizens, the youngest of whom was 14 and the oldest of whom was 39. A 17-year-old Belgian girl was among those killed, 4 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old from Italy, as well as an Italian emirate who was 16, who positively identified Sunday. The deadly blaze in the town of Crans, Montana appears to have been caused by sparklers on top of champagne bottles at the bar. Authorities believe the sparklers were too close to the ceiling, which had a soundproof lining that ignited. Ebenezer Mahari, who was 17, said he lost 4 of his friends in the fire. He was blinded by the thick smoke, but he was pulled to safety by a stranger. Mahari has lived in the area for 15 years, and he described the scene as hell. Somebody was dying in front of me, and I couldn't do anything. Her face was so burned it was red. Wow. An investigation has been opened into the managers of the bar who are suspected of negligent homicide, negligent bodily harm, and causing fire by negligence. Behind these numbers are faces, names, families, destinies brutally interrupted. No, terrible. Sparklers on champagne bottles. Okay. Okay, where am I here? I'm in the wrong thing. Go over here. Your daughter's going with her. She has her. She'll be fine with the passport. Yeah, they need a passport. Definitely need a passport. What was I gonna do here? So, yep. So why in the world, just want to know why they were freaking and trying to scare people to death in May about that freaking Real ID. An enhanced driver's license is similar to the United States passport card in that it allows for international land and sea travel, but not air travel to countries that recognize it. Enhanced driver's license include a RFID chip and barcode for automated identification of the card and its holder. It's just the plain state-issued driver's license. and IDs that are not Real ID compliant, but the enhanced one is Real ID compliant. It says if you plan to cross into Canada via a land border, qualifying enhanced license, it says can work as long as you do not have a DUI arrest in your past. Consequently, Americans with enhanced driver's license who wish to enter Canada by vehicle are often able to do so without a passport. Often. They're not saying always. If she has her passport, then I would feel okay. I don't know. I've always heard you have to have a passport now. It says, if your New York State license or ID does not have a star or flag on it, then you do not have a Real ID compliant document. But I do. So all of that crap, oh my gosh, what a mess. What a mess. What a freaking mess. How dumb. I mean, that is just so freaking dumb. Why didn't they say that in May? They never talked about enhanced driver's licenses or that's so dumb. I really hope Scooter and Binky hear this. How dumb. That is just beyond dumb. What a horrible thing they did in May. That was horrible. Panic and all that crap. You never heard of the enhanced? Yeah, because that's what I kept saying to Linda. I'm like, look at my license. My license has all these things: see-through windows, RFID. Come on, like what the freak else? Like, it didn't make any sense, and I believe Evie had one like that, and I think Scooter did too. So it's all crap, and that's probably why Biggie's telling me that her son is going around and he doesn't have a Real ID, and he's going on because he probably has the enhanced driver's license. Hi, Twisted. What a bunch of crap. That's just crazy. They said they should be okay with an enhanced ID, but they often can. They're not saying always. So if they have a passport, they better bring it. I've always heard passport for Canada since I know, we used to be able to go over with just the driver's license, and then they changed it. Did you hear that, Linda? I don't even need a Real ID because I have a Real ID compliant license. And I think Scooter does too. Remember I showed you I have the flag and stuff and the little window, and like it has an RFID chip in it. How stupid. Oh my gosh. All of that was it was so stupid. You told me? Well, I was telling her she'd get around, but they never had in their stuff that was enough. This is the first I've seen of it. Before they just kept saying Real ID. They didn't say that the enhanced was okay. And I know because I looked that up. We could go back in the videos. Now they're saying it's okay. What a crock. Crap. Crock of crap. That's just crazy. That's absolutely nuts. I hope Scooter hears me because I'm pretty sure she has an enhanced ID. I have one. I'm not getting another one until unless I need to, because it's even so I'm not going to get it. I'm going to get my passport to go out of the country. I'm not going to go get another license. I don't need it. The one I have, I already paid. It says in New York State, we pay $30 extra to have the enhanced ID. So come on, leave me alone. Crazy. I wish Scooter would come in here in the chat at least. I know she's listening. I 100% know that that lady is listening to me. I'm going to tell her. My phone's not here. I can't tell her.
Hey, Carolyn.
Hey.
Oh my God. Imagine like my daughter and all her friends drive all that way to Canada and then someone doesn't have the right ID. You know what I mean? They already rented an Airbnb.
Yeah, and they won't let them cross.
Right? They'll be shit out of luck.
Yep.
I'm going to remind her of that in the morning because that's true. Like, that could mess up everyone's vacation. Like, drive what, 2? I don't know. It's far from here.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's going to be several hours, right? When are they going?
Thursday morning. So.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
I know, because I've already been talking to her about it, and like
it says they often let them go, but they don't say always.
Doesn't mean they will.
Yeah,
right.
You get some stickler.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know that, but I can't believe they would have taken the enhanced driver's license and they never put that in until just now. It's crazy.
I never heard of the enhanced one.
Yeah, I was wondering because mine has like all these special things. I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. So what is this one for? Because it has the little window. It has almost everything that looks like the real ID, except the real ID has a flag or a star, or in California has the bear. Not a star. Wait, what is it? The star? Because I have a flag. I think it's the star or the bear in California. And the enhanced ones have the flag. They are not requiring that here. For you to fly in Canada, Twisted, you don't need a special ID. But you need a passport to go out of the country, right? Of course. But to just fly throughout Canada, you don't need it? No, they started this can of worms, Twisted, on our vacation last year because May 7th, they said that was it, the deadline. And if you didn't have a real ID, you weren't flying. Or if you were going to fly, they were going to pull you aside and ask you 1,000 questions, and it scared the people to death and caused some of them to leave early to avoid that.
Really? Oh my God, that's stressful. Jeez.
Get an eye scan. What?
Eye scan, jeez.
Who's getting an eye scan? I don't know. Linda's saying get an eye scan. What, Linda?
Maybe they'll start doing that someday. Like you see in the movies,
Yeah.
they do the eye scans.
Scared, don't be. No, and Evie could have stayed the whole time, Linda. And that's why, but this is the first time I've seen them say enhanced driver's licenses are okay. And I know I must have put that in, our enhanced driver's license okay. So crazy. They do that now, says Twisted. The eye scans?
You gonna go out? Come on.
Look it up.
Come on.
What am I looking it up for? I'm not getting an eye scan. But I'm just glad I can fly anywhere in the United States. I don't need that, but I have to get a passport because I have to go out of the country. So I've got to get a passport anyway, and then with the passport you don't need a real ID either. So I'm going to go and do that. Been eye scanning for years now. Okay, but who's accepting it though? I hate to say it, but they allow people to fly without a driver's license. TSA takes the persons aside and they have to call someone else and the person has to answer questions and will be allowed. Yes, that they did say that, and they will pay a $45 fee. Yes, but they have to have some form of identification, even a regular driver's license or one of those other things. And then they get questioned, and what was the other thing? They have to pay $45 extra. They're extra. They're extra. It happened to your sister? Did she have to pay the $45? I love, listen to this. You got to listen to this one. Going into St. Patrick's Cathedral. Now, my kids will always say it's because I don't look like a person who's smuggling anything into, especially a cathedral or anything, right? Okay. But we're going into St. Patrick's Cathedral, and they say, oh, we have to check your bag. Now, I have this big arse, never full, okay, bag. It's like a freaking tote bag. Inside that, I have a New Yorker magazine tote bag. Inside that, I have a smaller purse. The guy he goes like this. You don't. He didn't even want to be caught in there. Like, he just took a look and was like, get it, go. So I told, who did I tell? It was Michael or it was Luke? And one of them said, yeah, you just don't leave. They were like, come on, this lady. Look at that. I mean, it's got 18 bags in there. I'm not, it's going to be an hour going through this crap. Okay, so I'm not doing it. Go ahead. And then where else did we go that they were checking bags? Oh, into the Broadway show to the Schubert Theater. That literally was bag check. I have the same bag. I have all of the same crap inside of it. And he goes like this. Go ahead. Enjoy the show. So, yeah, but I will tell you the one place they do check your bags really well is you're going onto the Statue of Liberty cruises and you're going into, or the Ellis Island. You're doing it like TSA, like you're going to an airline, onto an airline. That's the only place. And you think the subways, you bring anything you want on the subway. Magic wand. People that travel international, a lot of business can do an eye scan to bypass a lot of the hassles. Oh, and board the plane right away? Well, that's good, but hold on a minute. I have I don't really know if I understand what you're saying. You're saying they get an eye scan and they don't have to go through TSA and they don't have to go through metal detectors and they don't have to put all their stuff out there. If that's what you're saying, I don't feel safe with that, because how long would someone have to do that? And if nothing is checked for them, then they'd be the perfect people to bring something in, right? That's scary. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. If that's what you're saying. That they bypass all of TSA? That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good. You think that sounds good, Linda? That doesn't sound good. That sounds downright scary. You'll have to go through the metal. So what are you bypassing then? What are you bypassing with the eye scan? If you have electronics, they've got to go through, right? So what is the eye scan? I'm what? Look it up. She's like, look it up. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Look it up yourself, biatch. It's your freaking show. I'm not going to sit here and feed you lines.
She's not a teacher.
Look it up. Okay. Eye scans.
Look it up.
Eye scans at the airport. Airport eye scans, primarily through services like Clear, use the iris or facial biometrics for faster identity verification, letting members skip standard ID checks and go straight to physical screening. While the TSA, but what is it that you're going through beyond the physical screening? I'm so totally lost unless everything's changed like so much. Travelers can still opt out for traditional ID checks if they prefer. These systems scan your iris or face to match with your boarding pass, speeding up the process. But how long does that part of it really take? The part that takes the long time is going through the physical screening process. Sign up.
There's a special line.
Yeah, sign up for clear paid service or opt in for TSI pre-check touchless ID. At the airport, you look into a kiosk scanner and sometimes scan your boarding pass. This system quickly verifies your identity against your documents, and watch it mess up and be like, no, that doesn't look like you. Expedited screening, a clear ambassador for clear members, or you proceed directly to baggage screening. Bypass regular, less fumbling with physical documents. I mean, that part, I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? If they want to do it, big deal. What, are you against that, Linda? They're doing it anyway, it looks like it. Their cameras are doing it anyway. Why would they refuse an eye scan? I don't know. All non-European Union travelers are required to submit facial scans and fingerprints upon initial entry. Okay. Now, where was I? There's a special line. I thought you were going to say it's going to get you out of the physical line. Okay, I'm not really, whatever. This is all leading to the One World Digital ID that they've been talking about for years. She didn't say she had to pay anything? They know who we are anyway by our social security numbers. But yeah, but people fake those all the time, Linda. They steal other people's identity. Are you worried about somebody? See, I'm not worried about anybody knowing who I am. I'm not. Like, who cares? I am who I am. Not worried about that, you know? Look, I don't care. I'm like that guy that puts his social security number on the outside of his car because he's so secure in his, you know, that his identity won't be stolen because what was that thing? He put his social security, wrapped it around his car. You're not worried? Okay. I'm not worried either, Linda. I'm not worried. There's only one me. Me too. I'm laughing, Linda. Yeah, I don't care. They know, you know how they used to put the Easy Pass up on the window? They can get it right out of your glove box. When you go through, it scans right through your glove box. It's just easier when it's on the window. So anyway, I really wish Scooter and Evie were here to hear this. Easy Pass? Oh, you don't have that where you are? You have to have some. You don't have something like that? You must, right? It's just called, like in Florida, I think it's called Sun Pass. Easy Pass. You don't have tolls, or what? You have a different system? The subway fares went up. Tolls went up, of course. My eyes almost better. You don't have that here. I wonder what you have, Megan Else. Down south near the bigger cities, they have toll roads, but not here. Yeah, but what do you use? You don't have an automated system like Easy Pass? You must have one, right? Because what happens when you go down somewhere where they have tolls? Like, we don't have many by us here, but once you cross over on the New York State Thruway to go down into New Jersey or up to Albany, or you're going on that, you're going on the toll roads. Scooter. I'm curious if Bink has the enhanced ID. I'm pretty sure she does. They mail you a bill from your license plate, tolls by mail, or you can buy a pass of some sort, but nothing like that up here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they do tolls by mail here if you don't have an Easy Pass. You'll get a toll by mail. Yes, I'm going to go back to crab nights and auctions. Yeah, this is just the the holiday, holiday time off. We'll get back to it, Twisted. We always do. We've been doing auctions here since 2021, quite possibly 2020, fall of 2020. I don't know whether it was 2020 or 2021. The first auction took place after a cookie exchange, I believe it was in November of either 2020 or 2021, and they've been consistent. And craft nights have been going on since 2019. So yeah, I'd say it's safe to say we're going to go back to it. We will go back to it. We just need a little break sometimes, with the holidays. But the holidays this year, between my cousin Lorenzo coming, my one son Ethan going to the city for so long, us going to the city, at the Lorenzo's party, it was just crazy. Crazy, crazy. Tomorrow we have to go out and get Ethan from the train, so that's tomorrow night. That's Tuesday. Afternoon. But yeah, we should get back to it, Twisted. If it's not, I don't know if it'll be Wednesday. I don't know if we'll start it again on Saturday or start it on Wednesday. Lorenzo is not gone yet. Not yet. Not yet. Hello. So we'll see which house it's going to be. Twisted. He's got about getting back in the swing of things. But even the schools went back late this year. School just started back today. And it's something else, but I put up a bunch of shorts. I put up stuff on TikTok too and Instagram, and just I was having some fun. And the last video, I don't know how it got like two things playing over each other, but there were already so many views on it so far. I wasn't going to take it down. Plus, they say that when you do that, you hurt your algorithms or something, so I'm not doing that. So what else is going on? Not too much. It's very cold here, but we're supposed to warm up a little. Jimmy's telling me that we're going to have a heat wave. I don't know, 37 degrees maybe. My kids, Alexandra, Michael, and Gia are all in Caribbean country right now. And Gia sent me a video of their suite. They have a 2-story suite for her and Michael. My daughter sent me pictures of her view and stuff at the pool, and so they're all over there in the warmth. Lucky them. I need to go find the sun. Like I said to Scooter, I need to feel the sun. She says she does too. So we're going to be getting out of here tomorrow. I couldn't go with him anyway because I don't have a passport. So I have to get my passport. I'm done with the snow. It's enough of the snow now. I'm finished with it. Snow, ice. It wasn't that cold when we were in the city. It got a little chilly later on, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. It wasn't. It only got after the Broadway show when we went outside. Lorenzo was like, "Oh, it's cold," and I said, "It wasn't cold like that in Times Square on New Year's Eve," and he said, "No, there was no wind on New Year's Eve." And he said it was colder after we got out of the show than it was on New Year's Eve. And his favorite act, I told you this, right, was Diana Ross. And I didn't even realize that Rick Springfield apparently played there. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. I might have went with him for that one. Not really. But I think he said he was like home at my brother's house by 1:30, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, you know that you can support the channel when you shop on Amazon? You know how many people don't know that, Linda? I said to Scooter tonight, Scooter goes, "I don't know how to do it." I said, "You just go to the channel where it has, like, that tells about the channel. You expand it, you go down, and it has all the links. You just click on it and go to Amazon." And she goes, "Yeah, but when I do that, it doesn't tell me on Amazon, big thing, mommy ramblings." I said, "No, it won't do that, Scooter." She goes, "Oh, that's why I always thought I'm doing it wrong." Do you guys realize how easy it is just to do it? And it doesn't cost you a dime. And if you shop on Amazon, it helps. They kick a little back to the channel. It's not much. It's a little bit. But it costs you nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just a link. But so many people, I don't know, don't understand it. They think it's hard, or it's not hard. It's really not. It's pretty easy. And beyond that, there's a link you could copy and paste in the description of every video if you're unable to know what I'm talking about to find the links. But if you go to the main channel page, and you have that part to expand where it tells you about the channel, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's the links like Twitter, Facebook, there's Amazon. You just click on it, it takes you to Amazon, and you shop as normal. See, some of you block Nightbot, and when you block Nightbot, you don't get those little reminders about shopping on Amazon. And I didn't put Jimmy's channel in here on the Nightbot rotation. I have to do that because he would like more subscribers, please. He's posting a lot of videos. He has the Louis Vuitton, but he's posting a lot of videos. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, you're missing out. What else now? And I'm just waiting on, where's Evie? there's not really a lot going on. It's like it's kind of, I don't know if people are not acting so crazy or something, or they're just on a holiday hangover. There's not too much going on. Oh, by us, actually, where I'm going to be down, the Target is completely closed. It's because it's like one of these stores in one of the Galleria shopping malls that they have, which I don't really understand the whole point of how the malls went defunct, but nobody looks to shop in them anymore except for the anchor stores, and the anchor stores were Macy's, which hardly anybody shops in anymore, and don't understand that too much. But Dick's, Target, what other big store is there? Apparently there was a fire in Dick's, structural fire. Water was pouring down through the Target. And they said that, let me see if I can find any pictures of this. Everything is closed down and will not be in business till further notice over there. So if anybody was hoping in Orange County to go to Target in Middletown, New York, you're not going. So don't even think of it. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. I didn't get fire. Gotta put fire. Have to put it's a fire. Okay. Significant fire damage to Dick's store at the Galleria, Crystal Run. We put that picture over there if that'll go. It's always got to go over there where it doesn't make any sense to go. Even though I'm trying to Fred Roger picture it, it doesn't want to do it. Picture. I always wanted a picture. Kind of got my own, but it's does not always like Fred's with a nice little frame around it and responding nicely. Sometimes it's a little jerk. Okay. There we go. So let's see what they tell us here. They say that fire in a storeroom in the Dick's Sporting Goods store in the Galleria at Crystal Run in the town of Wallkill early Monday afternoon caused significant damage to the store. And that's according to the police chief. Hold on, let me make this a little larger so I can read this. The chief said he ordered the mall evacuated, while the firefighters from Mechanicstown, Silver Lake, and Goshen dealt with the fire. It's believed to have been accidental in nature. However, Orange County Fire Investigation will determine the cause. Dick's store sustained fire and water damage, and the Target store below suffered water damage. The mall was reopened in the early evening, but a robocall from the town stated the two impacted stores would remain closed until further notice. So, yeah, the mall may have opened, but you're not going to Target or Dick's, and that's what most people went there for. So, yeah. That's got to be a big blow to both of those stores, right? And hold on a second. Here's something else. This is crazy. Oh, see, this is like one of those stupid things that, hold on a second. Somebody just said something about that there was a shooting there. I'm telling you, this is like that crazy thing on Google when we were searching for that family and it said something bizarre. Same kind of thing just happened now. And then you go to the thing and it doesn't say that. It's really dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Okay, let me go back here. Let's see what anybody says about this. So people are not going to like this. I'm going to tell you that. They're not liking this. I'm sure they're not. Oh, wow. Is that really? That can't be a real picture, is it really? Let me see. Fire destroys. No. That's what I thought. They're such fakes now. They're just fake, fake, fake. They put a picture and it's fake. Not nice. Not nice. And I want to look at you again. It's like what they say. You put clickbait in your video on YouTube, nobody's going to go back and watch you again. It's just infuriating. And now there's like sites that keep doing it on stupid stuff to make you post, to make you go check it out. Not doing it anymore. Okay. Overnight. Something else. And it looks like, all right, so yeah, I guess that's crazy. Target Crystal Run is not going to be. Please be advised that the Crystal Run Galleria will be closed for business until further notice. That's from the Walk Hill Police Department. Let's see what they're saying now. I'm just laughing. Someone said something about the fire. The mall is back open. I am at the mall right now and there are people shopping, somebody said. but the target is not open, or Dix, right? I don't know. I don't know. Let me see here. Yeah, so there was a fire. There was a fire. Let me see what you guys are saying, if anybody's there. Not that any of you care, because none of you live here. Good night, Linda. Eye scan is not good for your eyes. It'll make them, you'll get sick from it in your eyes. Really, Margaret? I think they're doing it anyway, even if they're probably just scanning us. You know? I don't know. They're probably just scanning us anyway. I don't know that that's true, that it'll hurt your eyes. I don't think so. Let me see. I'm going to look that up right now, because we don't want to spread misinformation, right? No. Eye scan, does it harm your eyes? Let's see. No. Standard eye scans like retinal imaging, the optomap, and optical coherence tomography, OCT, are safe, non-invasive, and painless, using low-intensity light to create detailed images of the back of your eye with no risk of harm. The only temporary side effects are light sensitivity and blurred vision if dilating drops are used, which usually resolve within a few hours, requiring sunglasses and a driver if you're sensitive. It says there aren't any risks or side effects associated with optical coherence tomography. There are side effects of having your pupils dilated, as we all know when you go to the ophthalmologist or sometimes the optometrist. They will dilate your eyes to check your eye health and everything, and then that will cause you to not see well, and you'll have to have somebody drive you. I hate getting eyes dilated. I always ask them, please don't dilate my eyes. But I don't see anything saying that it is dangerous for your eyes. Okay, so now it's 1:30. I was thinking of a movie night. I don't know, but I have to, there's something on HBO Max. It's about this couple that went on a honeymoon in, I think it was South Africa. And here, let me see if I can find what it's about and tell you about it. Let me see. It's called Annie, A-N-N-I, The Honeymoon Murder. Covers the real-life 2010 case of a Swedish Indian bride, Annie Dewani, murdered in Cape Town, South Africa, while on her honeymoon with her British husband, Shryan Dewani, the couple's taxi was hijacked. Annie was abducted, and her body was found the next day. The series explores the complex investigation, the trials, accusations that surround the crime, which involved the taxi driver and others, and raised questions about the husband's alleged involvement. That's what it's about. Key details of the case: Annie Dewani, 28 years old, a Swedish woman of Indian descent. Her husband, a British man. Happened November 2010, Cape Town, South Africa. There was a carjacking where Annie was kidnapped from the taxi. Taxi driver Zola Tongo became a key figure, leading to arrests and a major investigation into whether her husband orchestrated the murder. The documentary uses testimony from lawyers, police, and involved parties to detail the crime. My hair is like whacked out of its head. And involved parties to detail the crime, the subsequent trial, and the unanswered questions surrounding the motive and responsibility involving accusations against the husband. Is that something? It is a series. It's like, I don't know how many episodes. It's a few episodes. I'm going to put it in the chat and see if that is something that members, Patreons would like to watch. Let's see where the chat is. Gail put in A. Does that mean we're going to say put in A if you want to watch? So put in A if you like to watch it, and if you think it sucks, just put down an FU. Oh, here comes Linda back in. Linda's back in. Blessings, Gail. We have 2 A's. No FUs so far. 2 A's and no FUs. You dropped your phone. Sorry. And A if it sounds good, and FU if you don't think it sounds good. Sounds like an FU. Margaret, if you'd like to join us, you could quickly start up a membership. It's only $1.99. And you get to do fun things, like do things with us offline. You just hit the join button, go to the channel, hit the join button, or you can just, Nightbot will put a link out if you want to join the membership. Should put the link out, right? Do we put a question mark or we put an exclamation? I'm drawing a blank. Is it an exclamation? Is it? I think it's an exclamation, but I think I put 2 explanations there. That's not going to work. Oh, there it is. No. There it is. Become a channel member. Anybody that wants to join us, if you just click that link right there, it should bring you right to join the channel. And so far we don't have any FUs. So if somebody does want to join to come to the movie, you just join, and then you're probably familiar with Zoom from COVID times when everybody was on Zoom. We use Zoom, so you'll see the post if you join the membership. When I put the number in the community tab for members only, you'll see it. And in the meantime, I'll do the word game, and that'll give people that want to join, or you can join Patreon, which the link is in the description, and I'm going to put them both on there, okay? I work on a military base, so if you have a ticket, I think Margaret's behind, but she did put an A, so I'm confused. You can't even get onto the military base, right? Goblin. Okay. Glib glub. Okay. You don't have Zoom? Zoom's a free app. You just have to get it. Just go download it. It's very easy. Twisted, do you have an Apple phone or do you have an Android? If you have an Apple, go to the App Store and put in the search Zoom Cloud Meeting. I think it's called Zoom Cloud Meeting. If you have an Android, I think you get your apps from Google Store or something, right? And you just do the same thing and you download it. It's free. And then you'll see the post, and all you have to do is click on the link and it'll bring you right into the Zoom. And then you can have a movie night with us. That's how it works. That's how it works. Very easy, very, very easy. I'm going to start putting up the Patreon because we didn't get any FUs, so I guess we're going to watch that one. And I'm going to put up the Patreon link.
It's an every post.
Copy. Invitation. Okay. Go to Patreon. Patreon. Hungry. I'm hungry, Mother. Okay. I'm hungry, Mother. Okay, so I put it up. It's up in Patreon, and now I'm going to make the members only post. Members only. Members only. Create a post. Create a post. All right. Okay, so the members only post just went up. Coming back over here. So, Twisted, do you have an Android or an Apple? Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Zoom is a free app. Yeah, you can come on. It's a free app. You can come on. It's a free app. You have an Android. So who has an Android here? I think you go to the Google store on to get your app, right? Wherever you get your other apps, wherever you go, you just search for it there. And it's called Zoom Cloud Meeting, I believe it's called. And then you download it. And then once it's downloaded, you go to the members post, you click on the link, it'll bring you right in. It couldn't be easier. You don't have to worry about any of the numbers or anything else that's posted. You just click on the link that's highlighted. It'll bring you right in. It's a free app. There's no cost for it. It's a free app and there's no cost for it. Tell me if you see it, Twisted. Tell me if you see it, Twisted. Hold on, I'm getting something up right there. I'll wait and see. You tell me if you see it. Oh, brother. Let's see. She doesn't need to be in Slack, Sassy, because I put a members only post out, so she sees the members only post. Okay, try to figure it out though, Twisted, because you're missing out on a lot of members' perks. Don't let it be scary or anything. Hi, Gail.
Hello.
Hello. All right, Twisted. Well, we'll see you next time then. And anybody else, I mean, you can still go and do it. Even if we're watching the movie, it'll put you in here. All right? But we'll see you. Thank you to everybody. God bless and prayers for all that need them. We all need them. See you there if you're at the movie. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Love ya.